Oh.
Hello, Xeno, and welcome. My name's Megan Everett, and I have my SSAO and Sleep Token tattoos and Zelda Triforce. And I'll be your host today. It won't be Rebecca puppeteering me. It'll be me as the host.
Oh.
We have some guests today that are very special. And I would like them to introduce themselves and say their first album they bought or illegally downloaded based on what generation you're part of. Eric, you go first.
Oh my gosh. My name's Eric. Do audio for Warframe. First album that I purchased, probably Nevermind.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Matthew Chalmers is joining us.
Hello.
Yes, our composer and singer extraordinaire from the amazing concert that we did for TennoCon. What's your first album? Do you remember?
I'm not sure if I remember, but I was a big Stevie Wonder and Michael Jackson fan, so it's probably one of those. But also my parents are music teachers, so they probably helped out. There was a lot of albums around already,
yeah,
so
I see.
Yeah.
I'm Megan Everett, and my first album was Michael Jackson Thriller.
Oh,
yeah.
It seems a little old for you, Megan.
No, I'm into the classics. Yep.
All right. My name is Rebecca Ford. I'm the creative director of Warframe, and the first album I ever bought, like with my own money.
Well, I was kind of figuring you might be like a Napster.
I am a Napster
generation.
Yeah.
So would that?
You just skipped it completely.
What was the download?
No,
then?
because my dad always would make mixtapes off the radio where you would put the cassette in and you'd hit record to capture what was on the radio.
Okay.
So.
But what about you? That you?
No, but we did that. We made albums.
Yeah. Okay.
But I don't know. I guess my first ever, probably a Blink-182 album. It would have to have been.
I knew it.
That's a good choice.
Had to have been Blink-182.
Yeah. And Jeff, creative director of Soulframe. What's the first album?
Well, we're going to show our similar age range because it was also Thriller.
Thriller?
Wow.
It was also Thriller.
Really?
It was the LP though.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was.
Dude, I'm like 10 years older than you, so don't even try. Don't even try. Maybe I was too old for that album. I don't know.
Welcome back, guys, to another video. And as you can see, we are doing the Devstream 189 next update release date and the 60-second Warframe and other Gucci stuff on top of this here. Now, I am on the YouTube side of things. I actually recorded this live, but unfortunately, the recording got corrupted, so I now have to do this off stream and just pretty much go with what I have here. Now, we're going to go over the important points, and as you can tell by that intro, I literally let that play through. That Steve, the CEO of Warframe, is sitting on Rebecca's chair, and that is the creative director of Warframe. Steve, honestly, bro, you're so funny. I watched this whole dev stream, and it was, without a doubt, funny. This is so funny. But what we are going to do is we're going to go over the important points, and this is where we're going to go over here. Right here is the live Tano concert. So realistically, the Tano concert here is this is the live album. So this is going to be out soon. If you have not watched the live Tano concert, go and watch it. I will leave Warframe's YouTube channel there. Go and watch it. I watched this Tano concert live. It was, without a doubt, amazing. Now we're going to continue on. We have a bit of a quest to conquer the career for Sapphire. We also have the QTT merch. We also have the Tano VIP and the TanoCon. So this is November the 7th. This is, if I'm correct, we're going to spawn in here right now. This is where they're going to travel to places at 6 p.m. and 10 p.m. on November the 7th in 2025. Whatever they explained here. We are on to Otis, believe it or not. I'm actually going to let this play, and I'm going to watch it live here because this was actually a surprise for me.
News, he's finally ready to hand off the torch.
Yep.
But we do have, we've been working very hard to make sure that anyone that fills the shoes of Ortis in a cephalon is someone.
Give me a second and let me right here.
Yeah. So Ortis is retiring,
There you go.
Our voice actor and long-term.
Otis is
he
retiring.
was the longest-term DE employee.
He was.
He was employee number 5.
He was employee number 5. Wow. Yeah. And
He retired.
Mike Leatham.
Yeah.
He's retiring, and I think he's building rockets or something, right? Space rockets.
I don't know what he's doing.
He's heavy into aerospace, as far as I understand.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's the saddest news. He's finally ready to hand off the torch.
Yep.
But we do have, we've been working very hard to make sure that anyone that fills the shoes of Ortis in a Cephalon is someone that's familiar with the community.
Yes, and knows the game.
And knows the game.
Has joined us at many TennoCons, if I recall.
Yes.
Yes.
So, but like to be clear, we're like Ortis. He's been with the team for so long. He just is enjoying retirement.
He's so earned this.
He's so earned retirement.
He's been through the trenches of everything DE's been through.
Yep.
So
I mean, he had to read my early test writing, so he's earned it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Like,
Yeah. So, are we announcing who's taking over?
why don't we take a listen first?
Oh.
Tenno, Ortis may sound a little, refreshed. Even Cephalons can retire.
so there you have it.
That voice.
Yes.
There you have it, the new Ortis. Mike, thank you so much for your service when it comes to being Ortis. Ortis, without a doubt, was a very funny character. And Mike, I hope your retirement goes very well, and you can enjoy Warframe blossoming even more. So we found out that Ortis is retiring, and we also have access to a new, okay, so we skip right here, a new Nightwave battle pass. This is huge. We have a lot that is coming in October, as D has stated. This drop that is happening will be happening very soon, and we will be going over this as well. So I'm so excited for what's happening in the update. October 15th is the exact update that's happening. I really cannot wait. So this is the new Nightwave that's happening. D will pretty much announce that when the new Nightwave is dropping, there's all new goodies, everything that you want to get your hands on. Obviously, if you are a BB channel, please get your hands on these, because there will be stuff in there that are going to be very useful for yourself. Now we can move on. We got the barrel looks different. Barrel really is just, this actually got me quite excited. For the fact is that the Grimoire has a new skin, and if you do not know, a Grimoire is literally my favorite weapon in this game, and I absolutely love the Grimoire. I just love it. We move on to the Android updates. Android, pretty much, the Android is getting an update, and the Switch 2 gets also updates as well. So the Switch 2 has really increased its quality. So here is literally here's a video here that DE has dropped, and I'll play.
So if you played Warframe on Switch 1, you'll know that loading times, streaming tunnels, and everything can be a little bit of a bear.
Yep.
And here you see, this is real dev build capture.
Real dev build just captured minutes ago. The shadow
Now this is a Switch 2.
The shading quality's higher. The frame weight. The frame weight is higher.
You have to wait longer for frames. Is that what
No, quite the opposite, I hope. Yeah, we're going to crank it up, and the team is really excited. Really did.
That is crazy. Now, if you're Switch 2, now everyone knows that the Nintendo Switch frame rate is 30 FPS. The Switch 2 goes up to 60 FPS. This is huge. Now, I'm on a PC, and I have a beefy computer, and the quality that I see from me being on a PC to Switch 2, that for me is sort of my eyes. But if you guys playing on the Switch 2, this is a quality of update for you guys, because obviously that the optimization in this game is huge, and obviously D has to optimize it to where it suits the console. And obviously when you're on a PC, you can literally run the highest ops that you can use that your PC has provided. This is a huge update. Now, we're going to move on to the main update that we have, and this is pretty much the unannounced update that I'll just play it. And there it is, the Warframe and the Fells Undermined. Available October the 25th. This is huge. Now, this is obviously, Rebecca obviously leaked it, that the fun guy is going to be a fun guy. Yes, he is a fun guy. Now, I watched this, and the Warframe is actually really good. We get introduced to Noko, is actually even that. So we will keep playing, and we will get introduced.
Gameplay, Charlie. We can take a look at Noko.
Noko!
So,
There's Noko there. This is what he looks like in game, and it is actually really good. And we have
So, shall we play
Ureli in the background.
So,
So I'm actually going to pause it here and explain why Ureli is in the background. Now, you're not going to believe this, that Noko is actually Ureli's younger brother. That is literally what they have said, and oh my god, this is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Now we keep on moving. They show the animations, they show the funny side of it, but the main thing that we are going to concentrate on is that they access a new quest. So we are going to go and play this. So we come to say right about here, and then we will let it play.
Solaren that has been
So we come into a new area. So we literally come here. So the devs are going to go in to the camera, and right here is we go into Fortuna.
But what we're going to do is we're going to show you how you access this content. So, in order to play the Valis Undermined, you need to have done the new war, because as the orb Valis...
So you heard it. If you want to play this new update, you need to complete the new war to get access to the 60-second Warframe.
Thawed and things got a little, I guess, dead. Perhaps some fungus emerged, some decay. So, if you have finished the new war, you will be led by a little mushroom guy who's running away somewhere into a new exposed sort of decay infestation. Under here is the airlock, and this is a place where there's a Solaren that has been sort of lost to time.
See Nico out there?
This is Nightcap.
Nice.
He's a brand new character.
He looks rad. I haven't seen him.
Yeah, Nightcap is a brand new character coming in the Fortuna hub, and my cat, or my dog, I guess, is kind of vibing with him.
Doesn't respect boundaries.
Yep.
And there is a whole bunch that you can do with him. He will let you buy all of the Noko wares. He will let you buy, for the first time, this is for all the decorators.
So,
we have added
if you love your decorating, this is huge.
more flora in this update than we have in any update in the history of Warframe. So if you've ever wanted potted plants, if you've ever
This
wanted
is huge.
anything
So
like
if
that,
you are a
we're adding
decorator, I
that.
know
We are
a
officially
decorator in
adding
my
plant
clan,
decorations for the
Fenrir.
first time, I think,
You
in
love
Warframe
decorating,
history.
and this
Can't
is
think of a game that might want to
huge.
steal some of these assets.
Don't think so.
There's a lot of green thumbs in chat right now. Look at this. People are very excited about this.
yeah.
Huge, finally greens. Yes.
You want to yank some of these?
And there's something kind of quirky and weird with what we're doing for this gameplay loop, where out in the deep Valis Undermines, there are a huge variety of mushrooms or fungi that you will need to find.
Yep.
And you can find them, learn about their results. Some of them make you do things like crazy. They're basically all based on like fun little impacts that are very hallucinatory and or trippy, which we'll show you a little bit about. And for you to get lore and for you to progress in the store, you'll be needing to find enough of this decay to feed the prince. And the prince is a mushroom species that Nightcap has been tending to try and sort of like bring peace to what's going on here.
So pretty much what she's on about is we got the fungi. The fungi is actually something that you have to go in. You feed the prince. The prince, you get access to the prince, and whenever you do feed the prince, you literally actually TP into right here,
Participating in these,
and you run about
little
like a
adventures.
little
So-
shroom
The
that you
skin
are.
is so good.
Yep.
A little cute
There we
little
go.
mushroom,
All right,
and then
means
you're
we'll wait
running
for just a
about.
second, sorry.
Yeah, so that is literally what you do, and that is huge. Now, there is a new part to Fortuna, and the one thing that we are doing, we're going to skip straight to Noko's abilities. Noko abilities, right here. And here he is in the full of the devs showing it. This is literally live, that's happening live now. So I'm going to let them talk for the abilities for you to understand, and I will have my opinion on it whenever they finish.
I think people will be waiting for this. Actually, no, we'll start with this first.
You know what? Oh, okay.
This is Stink Brain.
Stink brain.
Stink brain.
So what you'll find with Noko is he's a very fun guy, and he's throwing all his different mushroom types. This is Bright Bonnet. So these are two different mushroom types, and the general theme and idea is that you want to get these mushrooms out, get them pulsing, so that you're sort of making a garden of fungi around the battlefield. They each have different effects. Steve, do you want to read them off the sheet?
Yeah, the stink brain, I kind of knew this anyway, but it throws a mushroom that periodically sheds poisonous spores, inflicting DT_viral_color viral damage and status effect upon nearby enemies. Clearly that's taken from a Loke tag in the game.
Sure. And what about oh no. What
Bright
about
Bonnet, though, releases a rejuvenating mushroom that emits a radial pulse, increasing Noko and his allies' energy and applying a buff to ability strength that lasts for a short time.
and what about his third ability?
Reroute. Are we seeing this yet?
I'm gonna do it.
Okay. Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
Reroute. Reverting to sprawdling form. That is a word.
Sprawdling.
Sprawdling. Causing Noko to heal rapidly. While in this state, Noko is untargetable and releases spores that lull nearby enemies to sleep.
So you can walk him.
Very interesting dream that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at him.
Oh my god.
You can walk on the little ladder, and yes, you can like float, and you can pulse around.
These little guys have very shapely posteriors.
I know.
Eh?
You think
Is it-
Ember
is this-
Heirloom?
Is this the
They have
is
cute
what
little
Jeff was
butts.
talking about?
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay.
You can see, well, they're jumping a lot. So I
That's
guess
true.
that,
That's
you know.
true. They're getting the posterior workout in. Love it. And then the fourth ability,
Yep.
Spore Spring, unleashes a chaotic ballistic mushroom that seeks enemies and bounces explosively off whatever it touches.
So this is basically like if you can imagine the wind up of like a just the most chaos. If it bounces on enemies, mushrooms, it's so it basically let's see if we can
Okay.
find some enemies to use it on.
That sounded like a
So, in my opinion, it looks like the new Warframe is going to be a support frame. But one thing that really, really puts me off is why does the tiny mushrooms have freaking thick cheeks? D, what are you doing? It's so funny, bro. The little tiny butts, come on. It's a mushroom. It shouldn't have a butt. But these doing these things, we'll let them work away. Now they have all the sounds. The sounds is pretty much the food that's splashing together. Nico has a weapon. Now, the weapon that Nico has, so we're going to pretty much show it here.
Oh,
Right here
Gameplay,
is
so
the
that's-
screenshot of it,
That
and
is-
all good.
in
that's some
game
of the model work, and then the gameplay here it is. In
is
game.
right there. Now, this is an arc gun. Now, arc guns are heavy weapons, and personally, in my opinion, I find them useless. But they're actually doing a bit of an update to the arc guns, and that is they're going to give them 2 arcanes right here, primary and a secondary arcane on the arc guns. Now, if you want to build around an arc gun setup, you can, but for personally me, I wouldn't really be using it, but it is there if you want to. It is entirely up to you. Now we're going to be moving on. We actually get access to Wukon's Deluxe skin. Holy, this skin is absolutely beautiful. Now we're going to literally showcase this in the game, and right here is what it looks like in game. It is beautiful. And then obviously this is not the only Deluxe skin that we're getting. We're also getting access to Lavos. Lavos is wow. I'm not a Lavos main, and I don't really play Lavos as much. I don't really like Lavos, but this skin is beautiful. Also has an Infema on top of that as well. you're cooking, and I'm really, really happy with this. But we are getting into the main things here right now, and the most important thing that we're going to talk about is the damage attenuation. Guys, if you do not know what damage attenuation is, it is something that you're doing a lot of damage, and the damage attenuation kicks in to where you can do 10, the 5, the 2, the 1, the 500, and then you do nothing, right? The damage attenuation is so annoying that you can spend 30 minutes on a mission that should have took you 10, but Pavlo's here to talk about it, and I'm going to let him talk away.
It's mostly for bosses, where if they take a lot of damage in a short amount of time, they raise their defenses so they don't die as fast. What is the purpose of it? The purpose is, since we have such a big gap on how much damage you can do in Warframe, think of someone that has been playing for a long time, but doesn't have the best ribbon in the world, doesn't have max arcanes, they don't have like all the shards Tau forged on their Warframe, etc., etc. Compare that to someone that does have the best of the best, the latest incarnate, everything format to the extreme. That gap in damage is so large that if we tune bosses for the bottom group, then for the top group, whenever you go into a brand new boss that we just released, like we just released Thoraxia, for example, you go in to fight the brand new boss that we worked on, you get there, shoot her once, she's dead. Obviously, that would be pretty anticlimactic. You probably wonder, why did he spend 4 to 6 months working on this boss if he's just going to die in one shot?
Yeah. I agree there.
It's for us to even work on bosses at that point. So if we, instead of that, tune the damage numbers for the top group, then that bottom group is going to suffer because it's going to take 1,000,000 years to kill that boss because he's going to have so much health that he's going to feel like chopping wood. So obviously, we don't want either of that. So that is the purpose of this. It allows us to balance somewhere in the bottom middle.
That's good.
Basically, damage attenuation takes care of making the fight last a certain amount of time for both groups. What are the issues with this? Well, there's a few. So the first one is it doesn't work really well for scaling levels. So all the numbers are tuned for the normal version. So when you fight the version in like Deep Archimedia, for example, sometimes those fights, and you probably experienced it if you're a veteran, those fights end up taking 25 minutes or something crazy.
30 minutes, it's actually crazy. It's so annoying.
The other issue is that it's very confusing. There's many different variants of the system. So some are affected by fire rate, some are affected by other things. So that obviously is no good. No one understands exactly.
Yep, so no one understands that, but wasn't even explaining the damage continuation. Damage continuation is something that is a mechanic in this game that is very annoying. So I've experienced this, and that happens to be in Temple Archimedia, and Archimedia as well. So the Deep Archimedia, I actually took on the boss. It took way too long to kill the boss. A 10-minute fight should have took 10 minutes, but it took 25 to 30 minutes to kill a single boss. So whenever I'm doing the weekly resets, as you guys do, as you guys know, when I did the Tech Rat, and now I'm going to do the Io Weaver. Now we're going to go moving on to the new update. We are going to keep on updating this here. It will be the exact same loot that we were getting, but it's taken way too long to kill the boss. So I'm happy that Pablo is actually redoing this, but we are going to talk about, and we are going to move right over to this talking about. Okay, so we're going to skip to this because I actually took this information in and it was really huge. What are they going to be changing is no flat numbers no more. This is good. The standardization. So realistically, it's going to be a huge buff. So Pavel, I'm going to let you talk.
First, no more flat numbers. So the way it works right now is essentially all of those damage attenuation thresholds are set up by flat numbers. So imagine something like once you deal more than 10,000 damage in a second, the damage attenuation kicks in. Well, that works fine when you're like in normal, but once you're in Steel Path, 10,000 damage is kind of nothing. So that means
is true.
The attenuation kicks in right away. Once you're obviously in Deep Archimedia, it means 10,000 damage. You apply 100 times that. So it obviously is not very useful at that point.
Yep,
So
it's not.
instead of that, now it's going to be based on percentages, and that will allow it to scale much better throughout the game. So you'll never
Having it as a
encounter now
percentage
those
is huge
30-minute fights.
instead of having the flat numbers, because again, you can be spending
We're
a
gonna
half an hour.
standardize it. Again, like I said earlier, we have many different versions. So there's like some that are affected by crit, some that are not, some that can be circumvented with fire rate, some that were made for a single boss. We have a whole bunch of different systems for this. We're going to standardize them all into one so that as a player you have
So standardizing all into
more,
one
clearer
is,
experience
there you go,
when you're
huge.
playing against
So
bosses, and it doesn't feel like
instead of me
it's all
explaining
over the
this,
place
I'll let
depending on
him,
the boss that you
because,
fight.
well,
It also
Pablo,
makes it easier for us to
he does a
maintain
better
and
job than
ensure
me.
that it's working as expected, because it's a single system, and as we touch it, it basically spreads throughout the game. We're lowering the attenuation. This is to address that other thing that I was saying, which is that at a certain point you feel like your upgrades no longer kind of matter
Yep.
for bosses because the damage attenuation kicks in too early. So right now there's some bosses where attenuation kicks in like when you have almost no gear, you immediately starts kicking in. So with these new numbers, it's much more forgiving. It takes significantly longer for those the damage attenuation to kick in. It's hard to give you like precise numbers because again, it also will scale based on the level that you're fighting. But if you're something like Deep Archimedia, you probably can have an Incarnon with Roar, and you'll have a hard time kicking into the damage attenuation. Basically, it'll be hard to break into that barrier where the damage attenuation starts to intervene. So hopefully with that, you'll feel more the effects as you get gear, and as you get stronger, you'll be able to see larger numbers against those bosses. Obviously, if we just did that, the bosses would die immediately. So
Yep. So
overall,
this is
we're
pretty much
changing
huge update.
the effective health of those bosses, since we know where you're going to fight them. So we know like if you're fighting one in Steel Path, we know the sort of gear that we can expect from you to have on Steel Path. We know what sort of gear we can expect from you in something like Deep Archimedia or on normal. So we're going to tweak the health of those bosses to deliver a similar experience to what it is today on kind of our target gear. Is going to be a similar amount of time, but that does mean that because now it's health and not attenuation, if you get better gear, you kill the boss faster. If you have lesser gear, you kill the boss slower. So now your gear actually matters more.
So that's huge.
The other thing is we're fixing it for multiplayer. Right now, the way it works is once attenuation.
Yeah, no, the multiplayer, the way the multiplayer works is if a continuation kicks in for one person, everyone gets hit. And in my experience, it is very annoying with the damage continuation. So I'm happy that they were actually redoing this. So pretty much what's going to happen is there's too many bosses. We need to leave them feedback. That is huge. I mean, that is huge that they are fixing the damage continuation. Sorry, damage attenuation, sorry. But there is too many bosses, and the good thing about this here is that they have now addressed it, and so now everyone can enjoy the game, especially me. I can enjoy the game definitely a wee bit more, for the fact is that I don't need to spend 30 minutes trying to kill a boss. Next one is the Oberon rework. Yes, this is the Oberon rework, and this is huge. So I'm not going to say a single word, and he's going to talk. Once this is finished, so this is literally 5 minutes of him talking. Yeah, Pablo, take it away.
Hello. I'm back this time to talk about Oberon Rework. I'm going to go a little bit out of order. Basically talk its abilities not in the order that they're listed, but in the order that you kind of use them in mission. So hopefully that'll make some sense. So let's start with his third ability, Renewal. So Renewal is a heal over time. It now applies on affinity range instead of a fixed range. The ability cost is now fixed. It doesn't change. Before it increased for every ally that got it. So if you had any any party members with summons and stuff like that, it could get extremely expensive for you to sustain the ability, so you no longer have that problem. You also don't need to recast if they lose it. Before you had to, if they were nullified or if they fell into a hole, you had to be recasting the ability. Now you don't need to do that, so that's pretty good. It also increases armor for you and your allies. So you can see in that upper right, I have a 638. That is how much armor renewal is giving me. And for allies, it gives twice as much. So you can actually protect them quite a bit with that. Also, the heal is doubled when used on Hollow Ground. So let's put a Hollow Ground here. So right now the heal is even doubled right now. You can see I cast it this way. What is this? Hallowed Ground is now a circle. No longer a cone. You no longer need to mod extreme ranges to cover the area. It is now always radial, so much easier to maintain. We also improved quite a bit how it works on separate distances like that. So you can see it actually went up here to protect, and it's no longer... It used to have a lot of issues when you try to use it in different elevations. So now it actually adapts quite well to things like this. Additionally to that, it now does radiation much more reliably. Before it was like a chance to deal radiation once per second. Now it's guaranteed radiation twice per second. So you can see enemies are getting to 10 stacks of radiation pretty quickly, which synergizes really well with something like Arcane Fallout. You can see the orbs are there. I should probably use this thing before my yapping kills us all. We also upgraded how Hollow Ground interacts with nullifiers. So the way it used to work is as soon as a nullifier touched any part of the Hollow Ground, it would basically dispel it, which was pretty annoying because Hollow Ground could be quite big. So now it will only prevent the effects of Hollow Ground on allies that are inside the bubble or on enemies that are inside the bubble. It will no longer dispel the ground. We also made that change for Oraxia, and we also made a few other changes to three other interactions with nullifiers. Let me talk about his passive. So you see those shields that I have around me? Those are his new passive. Whenever Oberon picks up a health orb, he will get one protection like that and will give it to his allies as well. And that protection, what it does is when you take a hit, you take no damage. So you can see that absorbed the entire damage for the entire damage attack. So basically you can use that to be like fully protected as long as you're getting orbs, which is pretty easy to do when you have Fallout, or later we'll talk about some other way to get that. Oberon's one, there's an Eximus who's a good target to use it on. So you see when I cast it, it immediately removed all of his overguard in one shot, and it does percentage damage and then does a secondary hit around them for that percentage of damage to enemies around it. So you want to use it on units that have a lot of health so that the damage then they deal around them is higher. See him? There you go. So the entire overguard is gone, and you see it killed a bunch of enemies around it because he has quite a bit of health. So his fourth ability now has line of sight, so you have to be careful where you use it. Now when you use it, it will always strip armor, which I guess I didn't choose the best place to showcase that because they don't have armor, but the armor strip no longer requires you to have them on the grass. It will work in any situation. It does way more damage now, something like more than triple, I think, and also scales based on how many stacks of radiation they have on them, so that deals even more damage. It also gives you armor for every enemy you hit, and it also scales with how many stacks of radiation you have. So in the top there, now it says 1288. If you remember earlier, it was like 600 and something, so it now gives you even more armor there, which obviously synergizes really well with then giving armor to your allies and protecting them of everything that's going around them. Also, this ability always used to give health orbs. We just picked some of those. But they used to be very hard to do because you had to get the exact kill with the fourth, which is tough to do because obviously, you know, there's a whole bunch of other AoEs and stuff going. Now it marks enemies, so when you kill them, they still drop the orbs. You can see the orbs flying there, even though I didn't kill them with the ability. Just the fact that I use the ability on them marked them to basically get those, be able to drop those orbs, which obviously synergizes really well with his passive to give you the protective stacks that you see around me so that enemies cannot kill me. And that's about it. That's the whole kit. Hopefully you understood. Like, I'm sorry I gave it out of order, but I think hopefully that made more sense.
That is huge. Oberon is getting a full rework. He needed it. He really needed it. Honestly, this rework, I cannot wait to get my hands on. His passive, you pick up a health orb, you get invulnerability for 3 hits, and your allies get it. That is just like having Revenant's Mesmer skin, but you just pick up a health orb. Okay, that's really, really good. His 3, I personally think his 3 might still be the weakest part of his kit, so I would helmet it out for something. Obviously, either a shield gaining or a damaging ability. Entirely up to the person. Me, I'd probably go for Roar because his 1 now is insane. It looks insane. It potentially might do crazy amounts of damage as seen. I'm really looking forward and getting access or getting hold of this rework, and this is coming on October the 15th. This is huge. This is like literally a week and 6 days away. Well, obviously by the time this goes up, this will be a week and 5 days. This is huge. I am so excited for this, and I cannot wait for the Oberon rework. Obviously, that everyone knows that Hollow Ground was a cone. That was annoying. For you to armor strip someone, you had to put your Hollow Ground down and then use your Reawakening. That is annoying. The ability states that you can armor strip at 100%, but you need to have the grass down first before that happens. That there, you press a button and you armor strip. You want to press 4 and armor strip straight away. His passive was literally a companion link. Useless. New passive, brilliant. His 3 was all about bleeding out. There's Fazarin. Literally king 4 4 instants of revives. And then you have Necros Soul Punch that literally gets you up in indefinite and keeps getting you up until if you go down. Because Necros is literally there. I've made a build for it. I am really excited. Pablo, rework is amazing and I'm looking so freaking forward to it. Now, we're going to move on here and we are going to be talking about the new quest. This is the Teacher's Quest right here. The Teacher Quest pretty much gives you an introduction to it. I'm looking forward to this. Obviously, the devs team has already tested it because the obviously quest has been completed. This will teach you how to mod your weapons, all your Warframe, depending. There's not much more information that they've given us, but I am looking forward to this to see if the way I mod is correctly and the way other people mod as well. So this really, really looks fun. We have a QOL pretty much. It's just a quality of life update on your, obviously, when you're picking, or in this case, when you're dripping out your Warframe. So whenever you have to go to your shoulder pads. So realistically, you can pick one shoulder pad and it literally puts the other one on. So it links it both together. That's a good quality of life update. And then we have the new 10th gen skins. So here is pretty much a showcase of the new 10th gen skins. We have a lot of new 10th gen skins. Citrine is getting another skin. That's actually really nice. Faruna is getting one, and Dagav is actually getting a 10th gen skin as well. That is actually nice as well. Whenever we were talking about the old place, obviously 10.0con announced this, that where we're getting Thai. This here is the update with this as well. This is going to be huge. We're going to get this at the end of the year. I have told numerous times that the Devil Warframe is the 63rd Warframe. They announced it, and there's a lot of people that didn't believe me. Well, here is the proof that is the 63rd Warframe. The 62nd is Nuko. So, yeah, it makes me so happy that they announced it. And I was right. And the face remasters, so they've remastered your operator, that everyone knows that the operator is getting a buff, so meaning that you have a special ability. That's going to be huge. I can't wait to get my hands on that whenever it comes down to it. But let's go over the old place talk. So here we get a Protoframe, and then we move on to if we keep going, right? So Wisp. So everyone knows Wisp's getting a Protoframe, and then we get the Devil Frame, right? So here's the Devil Frame, right? Right here. This Devil Frame looks amazing. The Devil Frame is the 63rd Warframe. Now, before I continue on this here, I knew this was going to happen. I knew there was a third Protoframe, but who's the third Protoframe? Well, let's actually go back into it. And let's rewatch this again. And there he is.
What need has a devil for forgiveness? When hell is a lie spun by madmen.
That is huge. This is huge. Like, so all three are going to come together. So I am so shocked. So let's go right here again, right? And we're going to go. And we're going to pause it right here, right? We stands up right here. This is the Devil's Frame Protoframe. I knew that he was going to get one because why would they want to give Harrow and Wisp and just leave the Devil Frame out? It does not make sense. It does not fit the theme of the Protoframe. This is huge, and I am so happy. Now, this is an Orokin Devil. So this is the first Orokin frame that has been introduced into Warframe, and he looks freaking amazing. I am so excited, and I cannot wait to get my hands on this frame. This is the 63rd Warframe, and we will be getting this at the end of the year. And goddamn, I am looking so forward to it. But this is the end of the Devstream 189, guys. I hope you have enjoyed. I did go through pretty much the points that we need. The 62nd Warframe. We have the new quest. We have the Oberon rework. We have the damage attenuation rework as well. And we have access to the new Protoframe that is coming, and that is the Devil Frame himself. I am so happy with this update, and we're getting it in literally a week and 5 days when this just get uploaded. But yes, guys, if you have enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you are not up to date in what I do, I am a Warframe content creator that I stream on the Twitch and the TikTok. Please come by and drop a follow in both. And if you do want to keep up to date and join the community and the clan, I will be leaving my Discord in there as well. Come and join our beautiful community. I am helping out every channel that I possibly can. We do a lot of giveaways in there also. So yeah, guys, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.